I'm going to start this one. This will be easy to start here. Ever reach?
Someone qualified to help them.
Okay, so this is why is it that some dealerships have a 20% appointment rate and other dealerships have 40% appointment rate and literally generate twice the appointments and sales from phone opportunities than the average dealer. Actually, there's below average dealers that are doing 10%. So I didn't even say that. So why is it that on the low end there's dealerships that are scheduling only 10% appointments and on the high end 40%? Well, in order to find out, you have to look at the 90% of wasted opportunities. But I do want to emphasize that with all the money and energy that goes into a marketing campaign to generate opportunities and to make that phone ring, the idea that 90% of those customers who call are flushed down the toilet and there's no return on investment, that's the crime that we solve. And how we solve it is by taking this blind spot of what happens to the 90% of the people that don't set an appointment, and we put a spotlight on it. So that we can deliver alerts to the dealership so that they can fix any problems or profit leaks that occur in their inbound phone process to save deals and to save certain customers. So, but to do that you need to know the problem. So why are these 90% wasted? Well, the first is a big shocker for most people. That almost half the calls that come into a dealership never even reach the person that the customer intended to call to either buy or service their car. The other big category that's surprising is of the other, what is it, other 36%? No, forgive me.
It'd be 46%.
The other
56.
56% of those people, most of them are mishandled. And literally out of all 100 calls, it's 36% are mishandled by a live person because of the person in the process. Leaving only 20% being, I'm sorry, really, that's average dealer. But if we're talking about below average, it's 10% who are actually being handled properly at an appointment, and it's 46% that are mishandled. So how does CallRevu solve that problem? Well, first you need to know the cause of why they never reach someone. So what we do is we give you daily, weekly, and monthly reports that alert you of all the causes that ever prevent the valuable opportunities that you've invested in advertising to generate while they're not reaching. And some of those are technology, like phone systems, where they get lost in a phone tree or there's a phone number going to nowhere. Some of them are people and process issues, like the receptionist is sending them off to a voicemail, and those customers are being put on hold for too long, and they're hanging out. So those are the basic categories. And we can drill down on those later, because we can slice it nicely. But the other are the ones being mishandled. And there's a finite number of things that are happening. Like a percentage of these customers are being mishandled, we don't even get and give contact information. Like a percentage of these being handled, and I'll give you the numbers if you want, they're not even asked to schedule an appointment. Matter of fact, there's things that happen that are the opposite of that, which is not only not asking for an appointment, but literally telling the customer, oh, that car? No, we don't have that. It's either sold, or I don't think we're going to get those for a few weeks, or we ran out. Things that, frankly, all of us being in the car business, we can relate to when we walked by that new salesperson and heard what they said and had the heart to think, oh my gosh, is that the only time that's been said to a customer? Or are there more times that's being said to a customer? So the bottom line, though, is that dealers have tried to solve this problem by signing up with call and ad tracking services that help them know what advertising is generating more or less calls. Because those tracking services actually record the call. And the hope of a dealer is that the managers will actually listen to the calls. But they don't realize it's a mathematical impossibility, because when you've got that many calls coming in, as a manager, in order to listen to hundreds of hours of calls, it's impossible. So what ends up happening is there's spot checking. So what does CallRevu do for dealerships like Rick Case and Paragon Honda, which both have attributed CallRevu for reasons why they've gone, increased their market share and profitability by 20 to 100%. Well, what we do is first, as I told you, we give you reports that help you plug these leaks. Leak number 1 is someone never reaches somebody. Leak number 2 is they're mishandled. And we listen to every one of your calls. We rank, or what is call source called? We rate every one of, not every one of your calls, but every one of your people that are handling the calls. And then we alert you whenever a customer's mishandled. And we alert a higher skilled manager to try to solve the problem that potentially a lower skilled sales representative or BDC representative created. And the outcome is dealerships are saving deals now, which generates obviously more appointments and sales and gross profit, but they're also saving customers and their lifetime value for tomorrow. But also the daily, weekly, monthly reports give them targeted intelligence for what technology to fix, what people to train, and what processes to improve. And as a result, if you look at the migration of our clients, not only does their appointment rates go from, say, on the low end 10% to 40%, which helps generate sales now, but over the long term, when these customers that are mishandled are saved by higher skilled managers, obviously that not only protects their sales now, but their reputation tomorrow. And so I think that is the essence of the 100,000-foot view picture. Now, I'd say that's like a 5 out of 10. That's like a first pencil. But I believe that that simple explanation has a better chance of somebody getting it. And now you have someone who understands there's basically a few numbers. 100, 90% don't send an appointment, 10% do. Of the 90%, half of them never reach somebody, half of them are mishandled. About. Right? Now let's go over here. The right marketing and sales approach. This is a core message. I think we can take this down one level